Today, I'm recreating every banned and illegal food products in history. Everything from an energy drink that reportedly can make your heart explode, to this cute little egg that's actually one of the world's deadliest snacks. Because I wanna see how dangerous these foods actually are. Oh, what is it? And if any of them need to make a comeback. Starting off with Four Loko. Four Loko wasn't just a drink, it was chaos in a can. Imagine mixing 4 to 6 beers worth of alcohol with caffeine of 2 cups of coffee, then tossing in taurine, an energy booster you normally find in Red Bull, and guarana, a plant extract that's basically pure caffeine.
I feel like I'm doing a drug experiment here.
And they sold it to college kids for $2.50. By 2010, it exploded, over 100 million in sales, and people started calling it blackout in a can and liquid cocaine. But things got dark fast. At Central Washington University, 50 students got sick and 9 ended up in the hospital. In Florida, 1 student drank 3 cans, the equivalent of 18 beers and 6 cups of coffee, and unfortunately didn't survive. After that incident, FDA finally stepped in, calling caffeine and alcohol unsafe, and by the end of 2010, Four Loko's original formula was gone, but its reputation as the drink that can knock you out cold lives on. When I made this, I was scared. I was really scared to try it. By the way, Ryan, we're gonna be ranking each one of these products into 3 categories: harmless, kind of dangerous, or straight up illegal. At the end, what I'm gonna do is whichever we agree to be the least harmless, I'm gonna send them an email and try to get them to make a comeback. I hope they respond.
You heard the guy.
Well, have you ever heard of this alcohol drink before?
I'm very familiar with it.
You are. By the way, Ryan was 19 in college. He's had a lot more, college experience. The cops come get him right now.
No, I'm 21. I don't know what he's talking about.
Hopefully we don't die. Cheers.
This is. Wow. Oh, what's that? Bro, it tastes like medicine.
It's burning inside of me. I do not like this. So did you like these?
They're all right. If I drank maybe a quarter of that, hospital. You don't even have to ask me. That's just straight up illegal.
What did you do with your drink?
It's gonna be a fun video.
This next product looks innocent, but it was stamped too deadly for kids. Kinder Surprise Egg. And these things look harmless. I mean, it's just a chocolate with a tiny toy inside. They were first made in the 70s in Italy and became insanely popular worldwide. But man, in the US, these things were treated like contraband, as if you're smuggling drugs into the country. If customs caught you trying to pass the border with a Kinder Surprise Egg, each one of them could be a fine up to $2,500. That's insane. And more I started researching about this product, the ban didn't come out of nowhere. I mean, globally, 9 kids have choked on the toy inside, and US wanted nothing to do with that. But in 2011, it was reported 60,000 eggs were confiscated, which means people are constantly smuggling this innocent chocolate through the border. And as you guys can see, I have the original Kinder Surprise Egg. I had to go through the black market, find some connections, and unfortunately these are expired, so I'm remaking them, and I just hope somebody doesn't bust down my door and give me a $2,500 fine. All right, Ryan, in my hand, we have the original Kinder Surprise Egg. Have you heard about these?
I have heard about these.
Yeah, so bon appetit.
Let's see.
Whoa.
When I was a kid, I remember when these got banned. I was like, why are these banned? It doesn't make sense. I get it now. This little thing, if you bite it wrong, it get lodged in your throat.
Yeah.
I can't remember, do these have like a ball inside?
But the original one didn't even come with the capsule. It just came with the straight up toy. And as you guys saw when I took a bite out of it, I kind of bit into the paper itself. I don't know how I'm gonna rank this. It's definitely not harmless.
Yeah. And I think anything catered towards kids, it needs to be like safe and have safety in mind. I was kind of stupid as a kid. I tried eating a toy car, so like, I don't know. It's like,
you're right.
Kids are still gonna do stupid things anyways, and you can't really predict it.
Anything for the safety of a child, I'm gonna say illegal on this one.
For sure.
Also, Ryan, this is an Italian product here. There was an American version called the Nestle Magic Ball. The Nestle Magic Ball was exactly like the Kinder Surprise Egg. It was a hollow milk chocolate sphere with a tiny plastic toy inside. And from day one, it violated the US law banning candy with non-food objects inside, but it went 7 years without anyone saying anything about it. And it wasn't like they were trying to fly under the radar. I mean, there was a commercial about this product. Luckily, there were no deaths caused by this product, and it only got banned because one state attorney basically said, guys, there's a toy in here and it's a choking hazard. And the FDA was like, yeah, you're right. But it went 7 years without anyone saying anything.
Damn.
It's basically the same thing as a Kinder chocolate. And the toy, it would be something from like Disney, Aladdin, it would be Lion King. But now they completely banned these and we can't get these fun little toys in our food. So Nestle Magic Ball also falls under straight up illegal.
Yeah.
These things first popped up in the late 1800s. Little sticks of bubble gum wrapped in paper, painted with red tips, even dusted with powdered sugar to mimic smoke.
Candy cigarettes. Also, we're gonna be making it a watermelon flavor because that was the original flavor.
They were sold in packs that looked exactly like Marlboro, Camel, Lucky Strike, you name it. By the 1960s, these were everywhere, placed right at kids' eye level in stores. I actually remember having these as a kid, pretending to smoke until my parents finally yanked them away from me. Turns out it wasn't harmless fun. A massive study later found that kids who used candy cigarettes were twice as likely to become adult smokers. Now things get a little darker because internal documents revealed that cigarette companies actually worked with candy makers to create what they called replacement smokers. Basically, kids who ate these candy cigarettes were seen as future customers, ready to step in when adult smokers quit or passed away. It was all part of this evil plan. But fortunately, it's basically banned everywhere, and yet I'm here bringing it back to see if it tastes as bad as its history.
And I remember as a kid, I used to walk around going like, so mom, when is dinner ready? And then my mom actually banned it in our house. And the way you ate it was you just open the wrapping around it, you take the bubble gum and you just chew on it.
That's one of the best bubblegum I ever had, actually. I'm Romanian. You can go to Romania and you can see kids with real cigarettes at like 10 years old. So it's
Oh my God.
I don't think this is as bad as a real cigarette, but I don't like the idea that it's catering towards kids, trying to get them to start smoking. I think that's really messed up. If we bring the statistics into it, it's like, yeah, no, it's not good.
I agree with you. It's hurtful. I think it's staying straight up illegal. Get rid of these things.
These were tiny, colorful treats about the size of a coffee creamer, and they were made with konjac root.
Konjac jelly cups. We're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of this konjac powder.
Which, when it was processed, you could use it to make gelatin-like desserts. But here's a difference between konjac jelly and Jell-O. Jell-O melts with heat, so if you leave it outside on a warm day, it's gonna turn into liquid. But the konjac jelly, you have to actually chew it in order to swallow it.
Okay, I had to change up the tool because it wasn't mixing fast enough, but I really don't like the motion of this.
And the way you were encouraged to eat these jelly cups was by squeezing it and sucking it into your mouth. It could get lodged into the back of your throat and it acts like a cork. And because it doesn't melt with heat, it could unfortunately choke you. And that's exactly what happened. At least 6 American children choked to death, and one case in San Jose was so severe, an 8-year-old spent 2 years in coma before unfortunately passing away, and her family won a $16 million lawsuit. The FDA eventually stepped in, completely blocked any shipments of this product, and you cannot buy the konjac jelly cups till this day.
I'm loving the makeshift aluminum foil.
Yeah, I have to make sure foil for sure. I want us to suck on this.
Yo? What?
I want to see if we could lodge it into our throat. Is it just getting worse? Ready? Let's try it
Figure
together.
out why this is illegal.
Cheers.
That's good.
I get it.
Unfortunately, 6 kids did choke on this product here. I gotta say, if it was eaten responsibly,
It has to have a warning label of some sort. If it has a label that says choking hazard,
right, this falls under kind of dangerous.
kind of dangerous.
This product contains blood and the US treats like contraband. Storing away black pudding.
And I know what you're probably thinking, these are just ordinary sausages, but in the US, it's practically outlawed. This Scottish blood sausage has been made over 1,000 years. I mean, this thing is historic.
As if there wasn't enough beef, we gotta add in some more beef fat here.
But in 1971, America banned livestock lungs in food in fear of contamination during slaughter.
Now we're gonna go in with some steel oats, and this is what absorbs all that flavor and keeps everything together. Now we're adding some breadcrumbs just to absorb more of that flavor. Salt here, black pepper. Just adding some traditional seasoning here to make it taste that much better. This is a gnarly mixture. Now let's just blend it up.
And even though this black pudding doesn't have lungs, it's packed with cow's blood, some kidney fat, and this just triggered America's strictest food ban. And if you want to taste it in America, you can't just go to a store and buy it. You gotta go into someone's kitchen who's making this recipe piece by piece. And that's exactly what I'm doing, hoping that the cops don't show up.
Ryan, in front of us, we have a blood sausage. It's only illegal here because of how blood and the fat is harvested. So we have basically a contraband in front of us. Cheers. Whoa. Dude, that's not bad.
It's illegal for, like, how do they harvest it?
It's basically, the fat that I used in this was around the cow intestine.
All right, bro. It seems harmless. I can't lie.
I agree with you.
I don't really see a problem with it.
That's the thing. I think if the right farmers and the right people know how to draw the blood, know how to get the fat around the intestine, this dish is completely harmless to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now we're making a candy pipe that looked so real, it freaked out parents. Lollipipe.
Okay, if you're anything like me, I know what you're thinking. This is absolutely crazy. A candy smoking pipe that you could actually smoke out of? This product was launched in 2010 and it became such a controversial item. And it was for many reasons. One of them being it was a lollipop in the shape of a smoking pipe. And number two, it was being sold next to regular candy in the candy aisle at stores like 7-Eleven. And any kid could walk up and just buy it. Like, if you're under a certain age, you can't go into a smoke shop and buy a glass pipe, but you could go to 7-Eleven and buy a candy version of it. By 2011, parents and officials were calling it candy crack pipe, and retailers just didn't want the bad PR, so they started pulling it off their shelves, and now it is banned till this day.
Who even thought of making something like this? But we're gonna have to try this. So, this looks weird. It's a lollipop. Oh my goodness.
Speaking purely off technicality, it's completely harmless. It's just a lollipop. But I mean, I think it just falls into the same category as like cigarette sticks. It's not really ethical. I just gotta say, it's like straight up illegal. This should obviously be labeled as 21 plus if that's the case.
Yeah.
I think it's not, don't sell this stuff to kids.
Straight up illegal. This next product was so extreme, it became lethal.
911, what's your emergency?
Okay, the one chip challenge.
We've all heard about this chip, and if you haven't, let me give you a quick rundown of what it is. It's exactly what it sounds like. It is the single most hottest chip in the entire world. It's packed with Carolina Reaper, cayenne pepper, and other very, very spicy peppers. This one chip challenge went insanely viral on social media. Even celebrities like Shaquille O'Neal tried it live on television.
It's nothing to me.
And the whole point of the challenge is how long can you go without drinking water? And of course, because of its virality, it started spreading into schools and students started taking on the challenge.
We just made an illegal powder.
And this one chip challenge is no joke. And unfortunately, in 2023, a 14-year-old boy took on the challenge at school, then he collapsed to the floor and eventually passed away.
The one chip challenge before the seasoning. Here we go.
Medical examiners confirmed the chip's extreme heat triggered a fatal heart attack. And after hearing that news, the company immediately discontinued the product and stores officially banned it from ever being sold.
It's just as spicy?
It's just that spicy. We're doing that today, right? Oh my God, I don't want to do this. Oh. And I shouldn't be touching this with my finger.
Oh my God, it's so fucking hot, bro.
I have milk. I have milk. I can't leave him alone. I'm going in with him. Oh! What is it?
So bad.
Oh my God.
Here.
Oh. Oh. Straight up illegal. No questions asked. Straight up illegal.
I'm about to recreate one of the most controversial brownies ever sold.
Lazy cakes.
They started popping up in convenience store all over America in 2010. They look completely like normal chocolate brownies, but each one of them was packed with 8 milligrams of melatonin. For context, that is 25 times more than the typical adult dose.
Oh, the smell of brownie is so delicious.
It was marketed as a supplement, but it was sold like candy. It was right next to the other packaged brownies and cakes. As more and more younger kids got their hands on this item, hospitals started reporting kids ending up in ER and even one toddler slipping into unconsciousness after just a few bites. The FDA eventually stepped in saying melatonin wasn't approved for a food additive. It needs to be sold as a pill or powder. So since 2011, lazy cakes are now officially banned and can never be sold in America.
Ryan, these are called lazy cakes.
All right.
Relaxation baked in.
Are they weed brownies?
They're not.
What are they?
They're melatonin brownies.
Oh my God.
Let's see, it kind of affects us.
Cheers. That's a good brownie.
No way we're gonna fall asleep. Melatonin is not like the most scariest substance out there, but having 25 times more than the average dose, I don't think it should be sold at a convenience store. But I do want to say, I don't see this as like kind of harmless.
I saw this chocolate milk in the grocery store the other day that has 20 grams of protein, 140 milligrams of caffeine. I think it's like kind of on the same tier or something like that. Maybe if it's like 1, 2, and maybe there's like a 5 milligram option max, but I'm gonna put this in harmless. I don't think that's gonna kill anyone.
I don't think either. I think if it was sold responsibly, made responsibly, people need help sleeping and melatonin helps a lot. Cool, this goes under harmless.
Harmless.
This nostalgic soda used to have an ingredient linked to cancer called sassafras root beer.
So the original root beer had this one ingredient called sassafras root. And for centuries, it gave root beer its classic earthy, spicy, sweetness flavor.
Am I the only person that didn't know root beer is called root beer because you make it with a bunch of different types of roots?
But in the 1960s, everything changed. FDA started studying a little bit more about this root, and they started doing lab testing on rats.
It smells just like root beer. Now let's just filter this out.
What they concluded on was that rats were getting liver cancer by taking in high doses of sassafras root. And because of that, they banned any company that used sassafras root as an additive to their product. But people started arguing that these tests were unrealistic. They gave the rats an unrealistic amount of sassafras root and that humans don't metabolize in the same way. But by that time, the FDA already made up its mind and completely banned the product being used in root beer. But I'm here today trying to bring it back.
Root beer.
That is good root beer. But I gotta tell you something that might break your heart. Take a sip and I'll tell you what I'm about to tell you. One ingredient in this root beer causes cancer. It's called sassafras.
Does it have sassafras in it? Am I gonna get cancer from this?
No, you'd have to drink 100 bottles a day in order to get that.
If it takes like drinking 100 a day to get cancer from, I think that's relatively harmless. However, I think if they're gonna ban this, then they should follow that same standard and ban every other chemical we use in food nowadays.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the original root beer made with sassafras root is completely harmless.
Yeah.
This next product was only banned in schools because it was so spicy for kids. Takis.
I know what you're thinking. Takis isn't banned. I could go to my convenience store right now and just buy a bag. Yeah, true. What I'm talking about is it being banned in schools across America. This snack blew up with teens because of their intense flavor and their eye-catching neon red color.
How cool is that? It's that easy to make Takis, but we're still not done. There's still a lot to do to this.
And to get those bright colors, they gotta use synthetic ingredients like red 40 and yellow 5. They also added addictive properties that made you want to keep eating this snack nonstop.
You guys see how easy it is to make. So if you have all the ingredients at school, just make it and then sell it. and then make money.
And because of these unhealthy properties in Takis, kids will develop ulcers and intense stomach pain. Some doctors have reported treating hundreds of kids every single month because of eating spicy snacks like Takis. By 2010, schools across America started banning Takis, and Takis tried to find a workaround by using quote-unquote cleaner ingredients like they do in their European version, but it didn't work.
What are these Takis aren't banned? What you talking about?
Yeah, well, they're not banned across the nation, you're right. They're banned in schools. I put an extra red 40 in there just so our stomachs could be in pain.
Running. That's actually delicious.
That's really good, huh? You want another one?
So good.
That's the problem with the Takis. They added like an additive to it that just made it like super addicting to consume. I remember how I was when I was a kid. I would have Takis every day. I would have hot Cheetos every day. I didn't know what a balanced diet was. I'm gonna put this under kind of dangerous.
Yeah, seeing as it does have chemicals in it, I would say it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, especially for kids. I'm only talking about keeping it banned in schools. Like everywhere else, I think it should be available, but just in schools, I agree this should be banned.
Yeah, should be banned.
All right, Ryan, out of all of the products we just tried, which one do you think should make a comeback?
Dude, honestly, I think the lazy cakes.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's dangerous in any way. It's just
Yeah.
a little bit too much melatonin per serving, but I think it shouldn't be not marketed towards children in any way. And if it has less melatonin, I think it's probably fine.
You know what? I'm gonna email the original company and we're gonna try to see if we can make a comeback with Lazy Cakes.
Interesting.
Hello, creators of Lazy Cakes. I recently recreated your original 2010 product, infusing brownies with the same melatonin dose you once used. It worked incredibly well and it helped me fall asleep fast. I'm reaching out to ask you to consider bringing it back with a few tweaks, of course. First, tone it down with the cartoon branding that made it feel aimed at kids. Second, reduce the melatonin dose since the original had 25 times the daily recommended amount. And finally, instead of selling it next to regular baked goods, offer it in specialty stores or behind the counter. My friend Ryan and I truly believe this could help people who struggle with sleep, and it tastes amazing. Who doesn't like a good brownie? I hope you'll consider this, and I look forward to hearing from you. Patrick Zeinali. I hope they respond.